Welcome to the news this evening. We begin the set with critical lyrical missiles prepped to transmit direct through the crown chakra of the world, the internet. The only free frequency for sound lulls and sharper intellect. No headlines on this show exposing pedophiles or hoodlums, but corporate crime hitting our kids' future in the open. And yes, we will be covering the biggest story to happen, how we are failing as a species to live on this planet. As our fate looms closer, I'll be your host on the roster. Welcome to Juice Rap News with me, Robert Foster. A report on our planet, our memes insanity, where we ask, what on earth is going on with humanity? Our correspondents have been deployed globally, ready for action, embedded deep in our collective consciousness in its fractures. First up, representing the militarist faction, a regular guest direct from the Pentagon, General Baxter.
That's right, General Baxter reporting for duty.
Tell us what's happening. Any new wars or news of peace?
Excuse me for bragging, Bob, but on topics of foreign policy, the perfect choice of expert voice is me, obviously. I'm overjoyed to report that we've made peace with war. It's been normalized, recognized as a core of daily reality.
War is peace?
A truly exemplary way to commence this new American century. And to cement the empire this year, we're bringing in a new treaty for peace and prosperity in the Pacific Rim, the TPP.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership, but do the people agree?
We'll fast-track it through Congress while they're deeply asleep.
Very kind indeed. But now let us search much deeper with our resident esoteric Guruji from the alternative media, Terrence Moonseed.
Truth seekers, follow the rabbit. Down the hole, I supplied whole packets of red tablets. Wake up, Neo! This treaty is but a teeny faster than a massive drastic oceanic conspiracy to turn the pacifist Pacific Ocean into the ancient battleground of Atlantis.
How?
First they cause a giant gyre of plastic, then a tsunami to smash the Yakuza Fukushima reactors, leaking radioactive wasabi to poison all of the sushi batches. Then the new Hollywood movie programs the stupid masses for the signing into law of these genocidal ruthless tactics.
He's totally batshit.
It's true, you globalist fascists. If the treaty's legit, why can't we know the facts and facts in it?
It is strange that it's being negotiated and handled behind closed doors away from reporters and cameras.
But Bob, we learned from the failure of that ACTA that people are just too damn attached to the internet, their rights, privacy, sovereignty, and that crap. Meaning we have to treaty in secrecy, and that's that.
Speaking of your secrets, have you found Edward Snowden?
The traitor? He defected with our data and went and sold them to the Russians.
The Russians? Right, that's our chance to cross to Moscow with correspondent Ivan Sakharmanov. Your thoughts?
Ivan Sakharmanov. In Russia, where is such a good time for snow sport.
So, Snowden?
Benevolent Russian state protect political dissident from regime of USSR.
You damn capitalist, hand back our spy!
In space race news, NASA now need our rockets to fly. And in race to rape planet, Russia get more resource and not even need what? 2 illegal wars?
There have been protests against drilling the Arctic zone.
Protests? You mean lost Greenpeace tourists we helped get home? Also, Pussy Riot lost in Siberia, could have died, but Putin rescued them. Now they new name, Pussy Quiet.
Moving on to the colonies. In Australia, where at this time of year, people are solemnly honouring the ongoing conquest of the continent. Correspondent Ken Oathgun, are you celebrating?
Ken Oathgun,
tell us what's going on.
Solid rock, we're standing on stolen ground.
The problem now is the ocean, where sharks and boat people abound. How are you dealing with them?
Walk in the park. We feed the boat people to the sharks, and then we kill the sharks.
Is refusing refugees legal?
Mate, is any of this legal? Our Prime Minister says this is the war on boat people.
Didn't your ancestors arrive there on boats by sea?
Australia was empty then. We came on the first fleet.
I see. Turning now to tax and finance with Max Kaiser.
Oh boy, feeding boat people to sharks in Australia? I know what you're thinking, hell. That sounds a lot like the central banks are what they're doing to the nation's wealth. Right, Stacey?
Robert.
That's it, they just rob it.
How can we stop it?
Bypass the Fed's pockets, fight kleptocurrency with cryptocurrency. That's the solution. Behead the banksters with the Silver Axe Revolution.
Revolution? What's pop culture got to say? Russell Brand? What, Robert? Am I a mere celebrity? Am I not a man? Ain't I got brains, synonyms, metonyms in my gut account? What if I spoke all grandiloquent? Would you better understand? And Kaiser, revolution's my idea.
So you say? But do you have a plan? I do. Bitcoin. Buy today!
Bitcoin? I'm the Messiah. I got Jesus hair. Watch it sway.
Hey, English lady. Wait, is man? Is
These imposters just wanna profit and get laid. I'm the true prophet. Namaste.
Fear is your only god on the radio. Kneel and pray.
Buy my DVD today. Revolution.
Ken Oathgun.
Buy Bitcoin.
Okay.
For today, we'll have to delay these great clashes, which we'll come to cover in subsequent dispatches. But before we advance to our final stage of analysis together, here's Sage Francis with the weather.
We've been weathering the storm of local warnings about global warming, but what about that beautiful red dawn when you awoke this morning? We're suffering a cold front from motherfuckers who cold front.
Is one coat enough?
No, Robert, bundle up. The Cold War is still in effect. It's got a chilling effect on the press. Dissonance disseminate information which is Dylan-esque, cause a hard rain's gonna fall. It may be frozen in a high pressure system of whistleblowers till we're snowed in. Moving on to Google View Spy Cam. You see a fog of war slowly moving from the US to Iran and Australia. We're heading for at least 3 years of lows. In Yemen, we're expecting a high chance of scatter strikes from drones.
Your sage forecast to end with tonight?
The picture looks bleak, Robert, but expanding. Worldwide, the winds of change are in our range. They're finally in sight for Juice Rap News. Sage Francis, good luck and good night.
And that concludes our views on the news this evening. So much occurring. But is there a meaning? What is our story? Who's writing it? And where is it leading to? Seeking true bearings, we seem to turn to the news. But take heed, for the medium is the message, and this most viral meme on the planet is now the method for defining collective reality each night. If it's not on the news, it didn't happen, right? As history, our story, is played out in day-to-day events, and journalists are like historians of the present tense. At this crossroad between ruin and the stars, can we afford to have news that is blind to who we truly are? We're no innocent spectators and bystanders, but accomplices and players in all that happens. And that's the news that's most urgently lacking. Join us for more juice when Rap News is back again.